Sani, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Thank you for joining to this program. We are doing a follow up with what happened in Kano regarding the Emirates. Um, Recently, the governor of Kano orders the arrest of Ado Bayero, Ado Bayero, the dethroned emir of Kano.
Mimi Adubayo.
Okay, so what happened? What led to this arrest of the former emir? Go ahead.
Well, there are a lot of reasons, there are a lot of background reasons. But before then, before this issuing of arrest of the Emir Aminu Adubayo, there was there was the law that established the Emirate was repealed by the State Assembly, which give room that all emir have been deposed, all emirates have been cancelled. They should go back to where they are. Hurriedly before, and there will be new selection of the emir. So after that, just within a day or two, there was swearing in or appointing the former emir, Sanusi Sanusi, Emir Sanusi as a new Emir of Kano. And that did not go well with some people that removed, that means they removed Emir Aminu from the throne. So over the year, there was some people who took the case to court, and then the court issued an injunction to stop the process until the judgment is passed. So while doing that, the emir, the governor, drove yesterday night, drove the Sanusi, the new supposed new emir, into the palace. While we had that on the order of the chief security, national security advisor, that the Aminu, which is the supposed deposed emir, was fleeing to Kanu and then was put to one of the palaces, and then they asked to wait for the judgment, whatever the judgment comes to be followed. And based on the fact that he came, and there was a said that he's going to attend the throne today. So the governor, through his media officer, made a release that the Emir Aminu should be arrested. But before then, the commissioner of police in Kano have already said that they are abiding by the court injunction. That is to say, the selection of Emir Sunusi is null and void for now, pending on the judgment of the courts. So, based on this, the governor is insisting on his own appointing, and the federal government is insisting on obeying the court orders. These are the situations.
Hey, this is a big drama going on in Kano. So, first of all, what led to the dethronement of Sanusi in 2019? So, according to my understanding at that time, because I had the opportunity to meet the Emir Adobayaro in
Yeah.
yes, in Abuja in 2019. When I was in Abuja, I interviewed him. I have the video. So I had the
Okay.
yes, I had the opportunity to meet him at that time. So, according to my understanding, what led to the dethronement of Sanusi in 2019 was because they divided instead of one emirate, and it was divided into five positions at that time that led to the dethronement of Sanusi. So why in 2024 Sanusi is being reinstated as the emir of Kano? So we don't understand what is going on with the stool of the emirates of Kano, because according to the constitution, the traditional rulers in Nigeria are supposed to maintain neutrality in the government. But in the case of Kano, we have seen the government rotating the stool, rotating the emir of Kano as if they are rotating their commissioners. So we want to know what exactly is going on with this two of emir of Kano. He's not stable. It's not stable. So when a new government comes in, the emir is being deposed. A new emir will be installed. So how long are we going to continue with this type of trend in Kano?
Well, it's unfortunate that this is happening at this time in history, but it's not entirely new because when we go back to the history of Kano,
Mm,
when the British came, the Emir Aliu, who is not loyal to the British, was deposed and was sent to Lokoja. That is just a history.
mm,
And then they degraded the rulership to be under a resident, that is to say, maybe under a state governor or even local government chairman, that monarchs are under the local government chairman. They were able to do that and there was nothing happened. Though in the history of Kano, we also have a civil war where the emir, the children of the king fought against each other and removed each other. Then it was internally case. But the external case come with the Emir Ali. When Emir Ali was deposed, was taken to Lokoja, and I think he lived and died in Lokoja. So coming back to 1990, toward 1960s, also there is a removal of Emir Sanusi, who happened to be the grandfather of this Emir Sanusi, the present one that we're talking about now. He was involved with Sedona. He was a right-hand man of Sedona. At the point they get their political differences, and then Sedona remove him, and then we end up with the Emir Adu Bayero. So coming to the Emir Adu Bayero too, there was a time during Rimi time, there's an issue with they traveling Emir of Kano, Emir of Ife, and some other thing that traveled to Israeli without order or something like that. There was an attempt to remove the Emir Bayero, which met a lot of violence, and then the whole thing died down. So now, coming down to recent time now, the emir, after the death of, when Konkoso get into power, that's political something. Konkoso was defeated by Shekarong, and they become a hard enemy. So it was rumored that the emir, Ado Bayero, was in support of Shekarong. So based on that, Konkoso group kind of wants the Konkoso at that time to remove the Emir Adu Bayero. But they were not able to do it. And then the time come, the Emir passed away. So when the Emir passed away, there are a lot of people that we expect or people think will be the successor of that kingship. But it happened also within the political realm. At that very time, Konkoso is having issue, is in PDP, is having issue with Goodluck Jonathan. And Goodluck Jonathan also have issue with Sanusi as a central bank governor. So Sanusi, Konkoso felt the only way to maybe justify this thing is to put Emir Sanusi. There was a problem. I think the federal government issue an order that is not going to be possible. There were a lot of military and police presence. The emir was staying in the government house. After a while, after the election, everything settled down. Emir Sanusi continued with throne. But as time goes on, in that government that installed Emir Sunusi first time, there are Ganduje, who is the deputy governor, and the Konkoso as the executive governor of the state. They're all in one hands and glove, no issue. But coming to recent time, Konkoso and Ganduje fell apart. So when they fell apart, the Konkoso group, the Ganduje group believed that the emir, instead of neutrality, is supporting the Konkoso group. The rumor he sponsored is whatever. So there are those allegations going on. So the first thing they did as a warning to the Emir Sunusi is to reduce his power by creating 5 additional emirates. So as they did that, maybe like a warning or like whatever, so but the reaction of Emir Sunusi escalated, that they accuse him of not honoring them, respecting them, or being subordinate to them. So based on that, the rise of the check, maybe the account system, they were able to raise something regarding to financing or how he managed the account of the emirate. So on that precedent, he was deposed. When he was deposed, then the son of the emir Ado Bayero, which Aminu Ado Bayero, was installed. He was first installed at one of the first time when they tried to create the DC, he was installed as the emir, the new emir of Beach, which is not emirate. So with the new, when it's like a warning, stop doing what you are doing or do more. He didn't yield to that move. Yes, it escalated until they finally remove him and then take Emir Aminu back to Kano Emirate. So those are the background history. So coming on today's issue, the last election, it was rumored that Sanusi partake fully in the election, even while he was emir, by sponsoring them, by calling people who to vote for, and then maybe they said he used money. So that happened. And the recent election too, was, there were allegations that he is a major sponsor of NNPP, and then there are issue like ballot paper, stuff like that, that is rumor is not confirmed, that created that. So it went on. But I think what's really came up last was that when the election was held, it was clearly that NPP Abba Yusuf Ibrahim, the present governor, have won the election, though the opponents were saying that there were ballot paper which were sponsored by the Emir Sanusi. They are not legitimate. So based on that, they went to court. The first sitting, they gave the verdict to Nasir Gauna, opposition. Then the second sitting, they also give affirm that judgment that Nasir Gauna is the governor of the state. But we're told that elders are people that matters in the country, went on the ground and tried to make a settlement out of it. We were told, or rumorsly said, that 3 conditions were given to Konkosia or on the ground first. Number one, the issue of Emirate, that is the Emir of Kano, should not be tampered with. Number two,
Sorry, Mr. Sani. You know the problem about the Emirates of Kano
mm,
is
mm,
because they are being installed by the state government. So all their policies and their activities are all under the authority of the government. So
no,
when a government installed you to become the emirate of Kano, definitely you will be your activities will be geared towards enhancing or supporting the state government. You understand? Because the
mm,
position of the Emirate is being politicized in Kano, totally
mm,
politicized. So this is in contrary with the government, the federal government, saying that traditional rulers in Nigeria should maintain neutrality in the government. So, but in the case of Kano, we saw that the state government has power to depose in the state or do whatever they want with the emirate. So, what do you expect when a politician, appointed you to a position? You will be a politician when you become, or when you finally be installed as the emirate of Kano. So that is exactly what is going on right now. It will be very difficult for the emirate or the emir of Kano to maintain neutrality in the government because they are being installed by the government, the state government. So,
no, exactly. It's not exactly like that. The Emirate has kingmakers. There are
but
kingmakers who are supposed to be.
how
Hmm?
powerful are they? Those
Yeah, that's what I'm
kingmakers.
getting to. The Emirate, they have kingmakers. So those kingmakers will make their choice. But the government have a veto power to accept what the kingmaker select or reject or make. I'll give you example now. Now the British, the colonial masters started this game when the case of Aliu, Sarki Aliu, he was the one the kingmaker wanted, but the British felt is not loyal to them, so he was deposed and he was taken to Lokoja. Even come to the past emir of Ado Bayero. Ado Bayero wasn't the one chosen by the kingmakers. Ado Bayero was an ambassador in Senegal. Yes, in Senegal. They were the royal the kingmakers choose one Ado something. It's a royal. So because the Sedona at that time did not feel comfortable with him or they are in different political beliefs, he instructed them that they should look for another Ado who is a prince, who is entitled to the kingship. That's where the idea of Ado Barrow came. He was called up from Senegal and then installed as a king. So you can see the history of involvement of government is not just today. And that's how it goes on.
Mm.
That they reduce the power of the kingmakers to barely minimum.
Exactly. You have
So,
said it all. Uh-huh.
so these
Uh,
are where the problem comes.
mm,
But the worst part that is that if this is not checked, if
mm,
this is not put in place,
mm,
the kings, not only Kano, can happen across the country,
mm,
there will be a voice to politicians. If you don't do his party, they will remove you from power. And
exactly.
if you continue, it's as good as saying the system is dying. Because it's like every 4 years or 8 years, a new governor or a new party, if they come around, they can remove the emir or the governor and install their puppets. So those are the real issue on the ground.
Mm, exactly.
So, but if this kind of thing can, can always start this thing. You start hearing also in other parts of the country because if this governor succeed or the federal government succeed, whichever succeed, other states, if they have emir or oba or chief or a king or whatever, and it's not in their favor, they can do the same thing
Yes.
by just moving him and put
Yes.
whoever they think is loyal to them. And they cannot be forever in that power. After 8 years or 4 years, then another person will come again with his own
Yes.
another choice of people.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole thing will be messed up. And then the Africa will be just like any other. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
they killed the African tradition. So this is a threat to all monarchs.
Exactly.
Because if Governor A can do it, another Governor B can do it, Governor C. So it's be a thing of the day.
I remember a few years ago when the governor of Rivers State
Hmm.
at that time. So
Hmm.
some traditional rulers came to his
Visit
office.
him.
Yeah, his office. He was insulting them.
Yes, I saw that video where he was harassing one particular. I say you are laughing. You are. You see, this is not. This should not be
And
encouraged
look at
anyway.
you, it's a small boy. After you wear this big dress, you know,
Yeah.
he was making mockery of this traditional ruler. So, well, you are right, Mr. Sunny, because
Hmm.
if they can do that in Kano, you know, in other states they can also follow suit. We don't know what will be the prospect of our traditional rulers in Nigeria if we
Hmm.
continue to be politicizing this too of Emir of Kano. So it might happen in another state in Nigeria. So we have to be careful, and there should be a law from the federal level that will regulate this type of crisis. Going on in Kano right now, so that other states
I
will
think
not
the
follow
role,
suit.
the National Assembly has a role to play. The National Assembly can make a law
Mm,
to say that those kingmaker must have a powerful rules in terms of selecting the king, unless they want to make mockery of it. Or, in my own opinion, why don't we borrow the issue like in the UK, where we have the House of Lords, we have the House of Commons. The House of Commons are for common, I mean, people like everyone. The House of Lords are the royals who are there. Unless the federal government is able to separate reduce them to whatever level you want to reduce, but they should have some autonomy,
mm,
so to say. Like not just anybody who can just campaign because he has money or is in vogue, or fascists can take over the power of the state, and then you can decide the fate of the culture, because they are custodian of our culture. They represent us, whether we like them or not. They are our faces.
mm.
So that should be checked. I think this should go higher. But the fear I have for the governor himself, with the way I see things going on, both are ready to strike. The governor should also know that if there's peace in Kano, it's to his credit. If there's no peace in Kano, it's a disadvantage to him. And also the last point, which is not, I don't think it should escalate to that. We pray it should escalate to that. Is that he should know that he can lose his seat even before the election.
Who?
Because the governor can lose his seat.
Why?
Because
Because
there's part of the constitution that said when there's insecurity in the state, the president or the house can declare a state of emergency in the place. Like it happened in Plateau, where just diarrhea, something was set aside, a military leader is called to take charge.
mm,
So this should be a warning, because this kind of thing, if the federal government is supporting, from the look of things, supporting Emir Ado, and the state government is supporting Sanusi, if they continue, there's going to be uprising, I mean, unpeaceful situation. Now the federal government has the final power of declaring the states of emergency, which is what we don't
so
want.
do you mean that the federal government is supporting Ido?
Yes, I said the federal government because the advisor,
Mm,
security advisor
mm,
to the country,
mm.
uh, was the one who sent government plane and military and police to protect the Emir Amin and flee.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Yes, yes. There should be a kind of federal might there. You know.
Yes, so right now in Kano, it never happened. You
Mm,
don't have two king claiming rulership. We only had that when we call it Basasa, the time of Nakano Civil War. That means they fight each other. So, but what I observe is that along the way they will settle themselves out, and then we'll have peace. Because if we don't, if both sides insist, uh, the MPP can lose Kano before the election, because there's a clause in the constitution that give president power, final power. That is, if the anarchists continue, then Bola Ahmed Tinubu has Kano is declared state, any federal charge till the issue before the government for God knows.
Hmm. Interesting, Mr. Sunny.
Um,
Thank you very much. Thank God that I brought you to this program today. That is very clear. You clarify us about what is going on there. But I'm still saying that there should be a solution to this, because the stool of um Kanu Emirates is being
mm,
politicized, and it's getting too much now. It's very obvious. Unlike other states in Nigeria, the one of Kanu, it's very obvious that it's being controlled by the state government, and it's not like what you just said now, that the federal government sends security to secure Aminu Adobayaro. So
mm,
why Adobayaro has a kind of a connection with the federal government, while Sanusi is in support with the state governor. So you can see the conflict right there. So we don't
mm,
know what is going to be the prospect of this crisis going on, and it's not a good thing. Yeah, our traditional stools in Nigeria should be well respected, because
mm,
this government system that we are running is alien to us. It's something
mm.
that was imported to Africa by the Europeans, the colonizers, those that colonize us. So we should not allow the government system introduced by aliens or the colonizers to overshadow our traditional stools in Nigeria. They are custodians of our culture, our
Mm,
tradition in Nigeria. So it's like bringing a new system from the colonizers. These people that
mm,
colonize us, they didn't colonize us because they like us. They colonized us because they wanted to oppress us. They oppressed us, exploited our resources in Africa. So they
mm,
brought their government system, imposed it on us. We should not allow
mm,
that government system to overshadow the
mm,
traditional stools in
mm.
Nigeria. That is what I will keep saying. I hope they will solve this problem, ensure that the stool of the Kano Emirate is not being politicized. Thank you, Mr. Sani. If you have any other thing to add to this, because I have another program to jump in.
Okay.
So go
The
ahead.
only thing I want to add about the Western distorting our system,
Mm,
the Emirate as used to be, like we have Sultanate, which is Emir of Sokoto, the Sultan. Before the white man came, he is like the head of state. And the Emirate, like Kano, Katsina, other Emirate, they are like state governors. So the white man, in his case, to divide and rule,
mm,
he sets brothers and cousins against each other so that he make his own choice. So we cannot move forward. We arrested development without going back to where we are and develop like any other nations. So for me, I think the common man should not support any of
mm,
this thing going on. And also the federal government, why they must do what they want to do. Kano is very precious to them. If they allowed ANPP to capture Kano, which it did already, they will lose a lot of elections. If you look at the difference between the presidential last election, it's less than 2 million, and Kano has constant 2 million and above votes for any election ever since.
mm, mm.
So thank you very much. Unless there's,
Thank you, Mr. Sani. So we'll bring you back to the program next time. For all the
Okay.
viewers, thank you all for watching. If you have
Thank
any
you.
question, please leave your comments in the comment section. I'll bring Mr. Sunny back to the program probably tomorrow. Mr. Sunny,
Mm.
because I have another program to join. I'm running
Thank
meetings
you.
for that program. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Sunny, and have a wonderful weekend. I'll get back
Thank
to
you.
you tomorrow. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
For all our viewers today, if today is your first time of watching this channel, please consider to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on Facebook. All right, we'll come back tomorrow. I've not been frequent on Nebo TV because I'm so busy. I have a handful of activities, but I think I will start appearing on Nebo TV now, hosting interviews. I have the Edo election coming up soon. So we're going to be having a political discussion on Nebo TV. Okay. So thank you all for watching and have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye.